Joining us now for more reaction, distinguished university professor at Touro University, Thanerosenbaum. Thane, thank you very much for joining us as always. I want to jump in here and begin with her judicial philosophy. Have her answers thus far been sufficient for you? Do you find that she's been evasive? And why is it important to understand what her judicial philosophy would be?
Well, Heather, she's been completely evasive. She using this word, my judicial methods for deciding cases as opposed to my judicial philosophy. I'm not sure I actually understand that distinction. So no, she has done nothing to sort of give the Senate Judiciary Committee an understanding of how she would go about deciding cases. But we must admit that since the 1990s, starting with Ruth Bader Ginsburg, most of the nominees for the Supreme Court have said something similar, that I don't really want to tell you about my judicial philosophy because it might have you feel that I'm prejudging cases, for the same reason they don't want to discuss hypothetical cases that might come before the court because they don't want to prejudge it. That doesn't mean she shouldn't. It's just that these people who end up being nominated for the Supreme Court, they don't like having a paper trail. And she does have a paper trail, right? She's been a district court judge, federal district court judge for over 10 years, and now an appellate judge. And so I think she feels that she's on safer ground to simply say it's inappropriate for me to give you my philosophy because it will give you a sense of how I might prejudge cases.
Yeah. I wanted to ask you about the court packing question. The court, by the way, the original Supreme Court was 6 members of the Supreme Court, which is crazy to me because it at least should be an odd number. And I think when my girls were in elementary school, they could have told you that. And it changed, I think, 6 times. It's been the same since 1869. Is she right, though, that that's up to Congress? Or do you think if Congress tried to change the size of the court, that it would end up at the court to see whether they had the right to do that, therefore justifying asking her and forcing her to answer the question on court packing?
Okay, but here, Bob, I feel differently than what I said with Heather when I said she was evasive on judicial philosophy. Here, I don't understand why she's not telling us what she really thinks, because even her former boss, Supreme Court Justice Breyer, said he was opposed to court packing. Justice Ginsburg said she's opposed to court packing. If she's dodging this question, Bob, it makes me think that she's not opposed to court packing, that she's saying, I'm not going to tell you that I'm in favor of court packing. This is not something like judicial philosophy. This is just saying, do you want to be surrounded by 8 other judges or another 11 maybe judges? Clearly, the more you add onto it, you turn the Supreme Court into a political process, right? Because every time a new president gets elected, he feels or she feels, well, let's just pack the court a little more to get more votes on the Democratic or the Republican side. So I'm surprised that she just didn't say, I'm opposed to it. Here, this is not like judicial philosophy. This is something like she said about cameras in the courtroom, where she said, well, that I'd have to confer with my other justices. I'm not sure that also isn't a question she can't say, I don't think there should be cameras or there should be cameras.
I want to ask you about her beliefs or what the sentences that she's handed down when it comes to child pornography, because watching the live images right there, Senator Ted Cruz questioning her again on this. She did answer a question earlier today regarding these lenient sentences as well. We either want to take that, as someone in the control room tell me, or do you want to take what Senator Cruz is saying right now?